Between 1869 and 1879, the American economy grew at a remarkable pace. But the wealth was concentrated in the hands of a few robber barons, men like John D. Rockefeller in oil, Andrew Carnegie in steel, and Cornelius Vanderbilt in railroads. For the millions of factory workers who fueled this growth, life was a different story entirely. They worked 50 to 60 hours a week under dangerous conditions with no insurance, no minimum wage, and no right to strike without fear of federal troops being sent against them. In 1879, the economist Henry George captured the contradiction of the era when he wrote his best-selling book Progress and Poverty, asking how it was possible that such explosive economic growth had produced so much suffering. For the American working class, baseball was more than a sport. It was the great escape. City workers who spent their days in factories or offices found in the ballpark a place to breathe, to shout, and to feel something. Admission to a National League game in this era was 50 cents, a meaningful sum for a working man, but not impossible. The National League voted specifically on March 25, 1879, to keep the price fixed at that level, understanding that the game's survival depended on the paying public. Ballparks in 1878 and 1879 were simple, mostly wooden structures. Grandstands with bench seating and open outfields where, in some parks, there were no walls at all. Fans were known in those years not as fans but as cranks, a term describing the passionate, loud, and sometimes unruly spectators who followed their teams with obsessive devotion. The term fan would not come into common usage until the 1880s. Fans arrived at the ballpark by streetcar or on foot, dressed in their Sunday best, and the experience of watching a game was an intensely communal one. When a team won, the whole neighborhood knew it. The two baseball seasons of 1878 and 1879 coincided with a moment of breathtaking technological change. In 1879, Thomas Edison invented the incandescent light bulb, an invention that would eventually make night baseball possible, though that would take decades more. The cash register was also invented in 1879, transforming commercial life. The typewriter was already in use, changing how offices worked. The Transcontinental Railroad had been completed a decade earlier and continued reshaping American geography, allowing baseball clubs to travel between cities in ways that would have been impossible a generation before. It was also a time of intense labor conflict. The Great Railroad Strike of 1877, just a year before our story, had shaken the nation to its core. President Hayes had dispatched federal troops to crush it. The anger of the working class had not dissipated. It simmered through 1878 and 1879, finding occasional release in the roar of a ballpark crowd cheering for their team. An economist of the era noted a widespread feeling of unrest and brooding revolution among the working class. Against this backdrop, baseball offered something precious, a space where, for 2 hours, none of that mattered. The National League in 1878, a league rebuilding. The National League that opened its 1878 season was a league in recovery. The previous year had been scarred by one of baseball's first great scandals, the Louisville Grays gambling affair, in which several players had been bribed to throw games in 1877. The investigation resulted in the permanent expulsion of 4 players and left the Louisville franchise so damaged that it withdrew from the National League entirely before the 1878 season began. Into the void stepped 2 new franchises. The Providence Grays, founded in January 1878 and accepted into the league on February 6th, entered as a brand new expansion club, raising $6,200 in public stock sales at $25 per share to fund operations. Indianapolis also joined the league, bringing it to 6 teams: Boston Red Caps, Providence Grays, Chicago White Stockings, Cincinnati Reds, Indianapolis Hoosiers, and Milwaukee Grays. The Boston Red Caps won the 1878 National League pennant in dominant fashion, finishing with a record of 41 wins and 19 losses, a .683 winning percentage, to claim their second consecutive championship. They played their home games at South End Grounds, where 48,915 fans watched them throughout the season. They allowed just 241 runs, the fewest of any team in the league, and were managed by the legendary Harry Wright, one of the founding fathers of professional baseball. The Stars of 1878. Tommy Bond of the Boston Red Caps. Born in Ireland, Bond was a pioneer of the curveball, one of the first pitchers to weaponize that pitch at the professional level. In 1878, he posted a record of 40 wins and 19 losses, leading the National League with 532.2 innings pitched, 40 victories, 182 strikeouts, and 9 shutouts, with an ERA of 2.06. Another Stars in 1878. Providence Grays center fielder Paul Hines became the first player in National League history to win the Triple Crown, leading the league with a .358 batting average, 4 home runs, and 50 RBI. His OPS of .849 was also tops in the league. John Montgomery Ward. Despite his rocky start, Ward would continue pitching every game for the rest of the season, finishing 22-13 with a remarkable 1.51 ERA. Historic moments of 1878. On May 8, 1878, Paul Hines of the Providence Grays may have pulled off the first unassisted triple play in professional baseball history. The catcher's mask earns its patent. On February 12, 1878, Fred Thayer, manager of the Harvard baseball team, received the official patent for the catcher's mask. The mask had been in prototype use since 1877, but this patent formalized its existence as a piece of protective equipment. December 1878, the rules that reshaped the game. 2 December meetings produced rule changes that would significantly shape the game going forward. The National League voted to accept 3 new teams, the Buffalo Bisons, Syracuse Stars, and Cleveland Blues, for the 1879 season, expanding the league to 8 clubs. And on December 4th to 5th, the league reformed its ball and strike counting system, moving toward 9 balls for a walk, and abolished the bound-out rule for foul balls, bringing the game closer to its modern form. The National League in 1879, 8 teams and a new order. The pennant race of 1879 was one of the most dramatically plotted in the early history of the National League. The Chicago White Stockings looked like early frontrunners, bursting out of the gate with a 6-0 start and leading the race deep into August. But then their new manager and offensive star, Cap Anson, was sidelined by a liver illness. Chicago faded, leaving Boston and Providence to fight it out in a tense pennant chase that came down to the final days of the season, specifically a 6-game head-to-head series between the 2 clubs. The champions, Providence Grays. The Providence Grays, just in their second year of existence, captured the 1879 National League pennant with a record of 59 wins and 25 losses. They led the league in runs scored with 612 and were managed by George Wright, the legendary shortstop whose brother Harry managed the rival Boston Red Caps. The pennant race came down to a climactic 6-game series between the 2 teams, with Providence winning the decisive game on September 26th in front of a packed crowd. John Montgomery Ward, the greatest season nobody remembers. At just 19 years old, Ward went 47-19 with 239 strikeouts, a .712 winning percentage, a 2.15 ERA, and threw 587 innings. While Ward dazzled in Providence, Cincinnati's Will White was achieving something equally extraordinary. White started 75 games on the mound in 1879 and completed every single one of them. 75 complete games in a single season finishing 43-31 with a 1.99 ERA and 680 innings pitched. Tommy Bond, 3 straight 40-win seasons. Paul Hines followed up his 1878 Triple Crown with another outstanding season in 1879, batting .357 with 52 RBI to lead the Providence Grays offense. John O'Rourke of the Boston Red Caps led all National League hitters in 1879 with a .521 slugging percentage and 62 RBI, establishing himself as one of the premier power threats of the era. Historic moments of 1879, the Reserve Clause is born, the most important event of 1879. The single most consequential event of the 1879 baseball season had nothing to do with what happened on the field. In a secret meeting of National League owners in Buffalo, New York, the owners, led by Boston's Arthur Sodden, reached a secret agreement whereby each club would be allowed to reserve 5 players. Those reserve players could not sign with any other team. No other team could recruit them or offer them a contract. They were, in effect, the property of their club in perpetuity. On April 4, 1879, the Providence Grays announced the creation of a bullpen, a roped-off section in center field where fans could purchase tickets for just 15 cents, with admission available starting in the 5th inning. The section sold out every single day. This was the origin of the term bullpen, a word now universally associated with a team's relief pitching corps, born simply as a cheap seating section for working-class fans who couldn't afford the full 50-cent admission. The Providence Grays also installed the first backstop behind home plate in 1879, designed to protect fans from wild pitches and foul balls.